So before I shout out and stuff, two things. I'm opening a Discord server. It might or might not be done by the time I put out this video. If not, I will have it done by the next day or later on that day. Just check my community tab for a link to the Discord so you guys could join. But I just want to say one thing. I'm gonna have about 4 moderators in there. I want everybody to respect them, and I want everybody to respect each other. The Discord is for us to have fun and get along. So I'm asking you guys just to have respect for each other and don't be disrespectful, and just think about the things you say before you say it. Don't say nothing that's gonna make people feel uncomfortable. Respect everybody, please. And now I want to do my own personal shoutouts real quick before I get to the Q&A and shoutouts. First, I want to shout out First Person Troller. He was the first person who helped me and shared one of my videos, and because of him, I got up to 1K pretty fast. He really helped me, and I appreciate that. I want to give a shout out to all the other community channels that helped me, like Great Griefers, Video Games, Gaming Community, and I also want to give a shout out to the people that I talk to more regularly. You guys know who you are. I told my friend that I was gonna give her a shout out as well. If you guys want to see her rage, her Twitch is Dark Lord Mooney. Anyways, on to the questions and shoutouts. Retarded Rock. He says, my question, can I please have a shout out? Shout out to you, man. Jimmy P3403. He says, can you shout out my YouTube? If you guys want to check him out, maybe help him out, give him a couple subs, and if you like what he does, help him out. Verplex. He says, how long have you done the duck voice? 3 years to 3.5. Potato_warrior_. He says, here's my question. Does Donald watch 50 Shades Freed on Netflix? Yo, do you watch that on Netflix, Donald?
No.
Guess not, man. Sorry. DevFraz1 says, congratulations. Can you teach us how to do the Donald Duck voice? I know I have a couple questions with this. So the way I do it is I place my tongue on a little bit under the right side of my teeth. Then you gotta blow air on that one side. That's how I make the sound. Then you gotta practice forming it into words. Boom Boom 64. He says, I know that you said practice makes perfect when trying to do a voice, but I can't even figure out how to get even remotely close to a Donald Duck voice. Just give some sort of tips to help me get closer to a better Donald Duck voice, please. I kind of just explained that. Just keep working on it, just keep practicing, and trust me, you guys will get it. Just like I said, practice makes perfect. Adam10S says, what is the best reaction you have had to your duck voice? Probably that guy from my VR chat episode 5.
What's up, Daddy? How you doing?
Andrew Likes Gaming, 9.4 million views. He says, happy anniversary on your 1 year on YouTube. By the way, can I have a shout out? Shout out to you. Can you do a Goofy voice troll? You're the best. Goofy is hard, but if I ever learn the voice, of course, why not? That would be hilarious. Boom Boom 64. Also, I have another questions. Question mark. Can you do a Daffy Duck impression? I don't think so. You're despicable. I hope that's good. I tried. Chimichanga Yum says, how do you do the Donald Duck voice? I explained the other person's question, so I hope you kind of like learn from there. Landon Moore, he says, I remember when you first started. Can I friend you on Epic Games? A lot of people ask me this. Sadly, I can't add people the way I used to because I have way too many friend requests, and it'll kind of be hard to like do my own thing, if you know what I mean. Jalen Peak says, do you love me? I love all my subscribers. If it wasn't for you guys, honestly, my YouTube channel wouldn't be my YouTube channel. Carla Alvaro says, happy anniversary on your 1 year on YouTube. I want you to go on VR chat and find someone who hates Donald Duck in a Donald Duck voice and then scream as loud as you can and as long as you can. My VR chat's not exactly working right now, so once I get that fixed, sure, if I remember, I'll go for it. By the way, do you like Skittles? Yeah, they good. The Dark Batman says, face reveal, face reveal. My minimum for that is 100K. Doesn't mean I'll do it at that point, it just means that at any point from there on, I can decide whether I want to do it or not. Landon Moore asks, can you do Donald Duck saying,
Ooga booga booga.
and
Come here, boy.
stupid fly. Motherfucker, he's in my way. What am I supposed to do about that? Loser Squad, open mouth, smiley faces. Can I eat you?
You can try, but the guts will make it better yet, you.
MNB_really_Andrew straight face says, can you play Fortnite with me on PS4 now? No. Predator is divided. GG and congrats. And can I have a shout out? We are friends on Steam. I am Predator. Yeah, I still remember you, man. And shout out to you. Lyrian Martin, I hope I said your name correctly. She says, congratulations on 1 year and almost 10K subs. We made it there though. We there now. She says, my question is, what other voices are you working on, if any? I'm working on one. When I learn it, the videos are gonna become so much better, but I don't want to say who it is yet. Kevin Corval says, when will you do face reveal? I kind of answered that in the last one. And can you shout out my Instagram? At Kevin Corval, please. Hey, go check out his Instagram. Zyx asks, Q&A, if you could be in any game, what would it be? Probably, I don't know, I want to say maybe Kingdom Hearts. Caesar Elizalde. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. I'm sorry if I butcher anybody's name. It says, yes, happy anniversary. Drinks are on me. I don't really drink. And if you got a bottle of water, I'll take that. And my question is, who's your favorite voice to play? Probably Donald Duck because of the fact that it's not an easy voice for just anybody to do. So I feel like it kind of, you know, sticks out. Cheese, it says, can you do a Goofy voice on Fortnite? Then say I'm Donald. Well, if I ever learn the voice, I will go for it. Now you says, when will you do a face reveal? I answered that in the other question. Challenge. Learn another voice of a character? Well, I'm learning another voice right now. What started or inspired you to do these videos? I don't know, I always found it interesting, so I decided I just wanted to try to do it for myself, you know, to entertain people. Ben Parent Official. If you were a stripper, what would your stripper name be? It would be Ben Parent Official. I don't think anybody will ever forget that name. Zen Fun Times. Do a video on how to do Donald Duck voice. The best thing I could do is explain it. Crippler AK-47, how can you speak all these voices and how did you first discover them all? I grew up doing Stitch and I learned a gay voice. After that, I met Azers on Black Ops 2. This is way before he even started YouTube. And then I got into it and I tried doing Herbert, and from there it's kind of like everything else. I just kind of like just tried and then eventually it just came to me. Sophia Turnbull says, do you have any secret / hidden impressions? Yeah, I do. I'm not going to tell you. They're secret and hidden for a reason, you know. Nah, but I have some. Maybe I'll bring them out someday. Ben Hale says, do you edit your vids or do you have someone do it for you? I do everything. Kudoof says, I hope I said your name right. Do you ever make other character voices like Mickey, Goofy, ECT? Here and there with Mickey, you know, I'd be like, hi, pals. Hamachi says, would you ever consider working at Disneyland? You could do some shows and stuff like that. I feel like I'd do it just because I think it'd be cool just to mess with people just because I could do the Donald Duck voice. So maybe just for fun. Wolf Gaming says, did you get your inspiration from the Duck voice? And what made you want to start doing voices? I guess you could say he kind of inspired me to maybe learn the voice more because I've seen like, oh wow, people could actually do it. But I don't want to say he really inspired me. And the second part, meeting Azers, he made me want to take it to a whole other level. I didn't know it was really possible until I met him. Raptorax says, when will you finally fight Mickey in the Octagon?
We already fought. Don't you remember?
Saman Bashir, I really hope I didn't mess up your name. He says, when will you do a face reveal? By the way, love you and your videos. Love you too, man. I'm glad you love the videos. And I already answered that in the other question. Jesus Ramirez, he says, how old are you? 21. He also asks, can we play Fortnite together? Yeah, I'm gonna do open lobbies to play with a whole bunch of other subscribers soon enough. Yonomation Animation says, so GPro, how long have you done Donald Duck's voice? 3.5 years? Hushed Bacon YT says, how do you do the Donald Duck voice? I explained the other person's questions. Savo, I hope I didn't mess up your name either. He says, how did you get so good at the Duck voice? Practice. If you watch my first ever video compared to the later ones, you'll see I didn't have as much control. Striking Gaming YT says, 10K. Duck Universe, can I shout out? Sure, you can scream if you want. Nah, let me stop. Shout out to you, man. Lion exclamation says, Q&A, what are your favorite YouTubers? First will be DashyXP or DashyXP, you already know. Luckily, I can watch him for free. Second, probably, Onage Pranks because he's a very funny guy. There's a couple that I like. Jesse Wellens, I don't know if you guys know him, he's friends with Dashy. Jimmy Zhang, he's hilarious. Also, The Do, I really like watching The Do, he's hilarious. Izuku Midoriya says, Q&A, how old are you and when did you start recording your first video? 21. It's Rainbow Unicorn. We'll give you the idea to do Donald Duck voice impressions. You know, nobody was really doing it, and I thought I was pretty good at it, so I figured, hey, why not try it? And it became kind of a thing. Duck Game says, how do you do the duck sound? You know, I already explained it with the tongue under the teeth and the thing. Raulo505 says, how old are you? 21. Psychotic Tepic says, can you get your nephews now? They're pissing me off.
No, you have to keep watching them.
Psychotic Tepic also says, could you try Scrooge's voice for DuckTale fans? Please? Thank you, you're the best. That is a really hard voice for me. I am so sorry, I can't do that. Dragon says, can I please get a shout out? Yes. Shout out to you, man. Pickle West says, can I have a shout out? Shout out to you. I have been here since 50 subs. I believe I watched every video of yours. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you can sit there and watch all of them. Okay, question is, when will you be able to do longer videos? It all depends on the content that I get, because I could record for 7 hours and get literally only 3-4 minutes worth of video. Celix, I'm really sorry. I don't mean to butcher your name. It's a Q&A. How long have you been doing the duck voice? Once again, about 3.5 years, I'd say. Sevier says, also, can I get a shout out? Yo, shout out to you, bro. Return Rock says, Q&A, did you watch a YouTube video to learn how to do the voice, or did you learn yourself? Both. He also says, can I please have a shout out? Shout out to you, man. DMZ Soccer says, can I have a shout out? Yeah, shout out to you. He also says, since when did you start making voice impressions, and do you have another job except YouTube? Since I was like 5 is when I started learning, but I didn't really get into it until like maybe 5-6 years ago. And no, I don't, man. Super Kid Play says, for your Q&A, how did you start making Donald Duck vids? It all started on Friday the 13th. I just had the idea like, hey, let me try Donald Duck on there, and it just worked out. So that's how I started. Catastrophe says, what would you be planning on doing in the future with this channel? Funny moments, more trolling, more voices, commentaries, maybe prank calls, different kind of things. I want to open up the channel to a lot more stuff. I've been saying it for the longest. Game of Voice says, Dragon Ball Fan 2, congrats on over 9,000 subs. That was my horrible attempt of Nappa. But thank you, man. And yeah, I love Dragon Ball and a whole bunch of other stuff as well. Reina Muro says, shout out. Yo, shout out to you. James Best says, can Donald scream for getting mad at himself? I think it's more of a frustration kind of thing, not just being mad like,
Ah, I forgot to buy food.
Sebastian reacts, can I please get a shout out, GProDuckTions? Hey, shout out to you. The NCal Films, what is a duck? A duck. I don't want to read the name because I feel like I'm really going to butcher it. I'm just going to read the question. Do you love me, friend? What's your achievement for this channel? 10K? And I love all my subscribers. I said that earlier. Astro YouTube says, I'm your biggest fan. Can I have a shout out and can you face reveal if you got 1 million subs? Please. I'm glad you're a supporter. And hey, shout out to you, man. And no promises. Fahima CFC says, so my question is, how old are you and when will you do face cam? Love you, bro. You're great. Love you too. I'm glad you think so. And 21. And I kind of already answered that. Guy who loves puns. Got 2 Qs. Is it stressful to do the duck voice and is it hard to do the screaming duck voice? No and no. Little Meow Meow says, what inspired you to make a YouTube channel filled with Donald Duck voice impressions? By the way, I love you. Love you too. The plan was never to do a whole channel filled with just Donald Duck. I wanted to do a whole bunch of other stuff too. But I mean, I guess since it became a thing and it was working and I got better at it, I guess I enjoyed doing it and stuff. Also asked 2 more questions. What country are you from? And ever listen to a K-pop song? Like maybe a clip or something? I don't think I've ever really heard like a whole thing. And from the United States. Jabeez Caster says, I want a shout out. Well, shout out to you, man. 4J Games says, happy 1-year anniversary. My question is, will you ever do vlogs or recording gaming on PS4 besides COD? I mean, if there's a game that I want to record, then yeah. Reborn Legacy says, what made you want to pursue voice trolling or in other words, voice acting? Well, I kind of already explained that before. You know, I already kind of somewhat did it myself in that meeting as it's just how maybe, like, I just thought it was cool and like, it just made me want to take it to another level. Rencraft says, can I have a shout out? Do you like to eat spaghetti? Shout out to you, and yeah, as long as it tastes good. Best Rat, can you please make a video on how to do the Donald Duck voice, please? Well, I kind of already explained the best I could in this video. I hope that helps. Sean Doobie, I hope I'm saying your name right. Says, Gab, I want you to do a Mickey Mouse once impression.
Hi, Sean. It's Mickey Mouse.
And just in case I forget, I want to give a shout out to Rusty Amigo on my own because he was the one who made my my channel banner. I hope I read this right. Draco Kurogane. That shout out though. Yeah, shout out to you, man. Jacob De Alba says, G Productions, do you only do the duck voice? Nope. That one guy says, when did this duck thing come into play into your life? Well, maybe since I really learned it around like 3.5 years ago. Sammy Gaming says, when is your birthday and can you add me on Fortnite? Well, I already explained the adding thing earlier, and my birthday is March 21st. Titan Sama, I think that's how you say it. I gotta know, how do you do that? I try to do Donald, but I can't. Plus, I love how everybody freaks out when you do it. Yeah, well, I'm glad you enjoy the freakouts that I get from some people sometimes. And I explained how it is that I do it. Jordan367, how many people flirt with you on a daily basis with the duck voice? No one. Beware RBLX says, Q&A, I fuck your mother. I hope I read that with the right accent. JNS_Syfe says, can you add my epic name? I kind of explained why I couldn't do that. XX8 and XX says, question. Nah, I can't read invisible ink, bro. The Aiden Show, can you help me with the Donald Duck voice? I don't know what an air pocket is. It's kind of like if you just put air in your mouth with your mouth closed, like you just blow up your mouth. This pencil is on fire, exclamation says. First, and the question is, will you do tutorials of how to do the duck voice? I mean, I explained it in this video, but I don't know, maybe someday I'll make a video specifically for explaining it the greatest detail I can. Fabian the Moose says, can I get a shout out, please? Shout out to you. Buddha's Bro says, can I get a shout out, please? Shout out to you. Jet Jesse 7 says, your Donald Duck is so on point. You are talented. Keep on being awesome. Also, here's my question. Have you ever fallen off your bed while asleep? I have. But yeah, when I was younger, when I was a little kid, not anymore. And thank you. I'm glad you think so. Pals Peep 123 says, I got a question. Who inspired you to do YouTube? I mean, I guess just a whole bunch of the content creators that I've watched. Ben Parent Official, shout me out. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, if you guys like Rick and Morty and stuff, he does Rick and Morty trolling, so you guys can check him out. SpinFX-Intro Designer says, I want a shout out. Shout out to you. Reptisoft Gaming says, shout me out, please. Love your vids, bro. Keep it up. Shout out to you. Ryan Bagels 671 says, shout me out, please. You will make my day. Well, shout out to you. I'm glad I can make your day with that. Beware Roblox says, give me a shout out. Shout out to you. Exotic Invader says, my shout out is, I love your videos, but I love you more. I'm glad to be subscribed to you. Whoa, that was kind of a twist because I was one doing the shout outs, but hey, thank you. I'm glad you love the videos and I love you too. Daniel Gonzalez says, will you make any Kingdom Hearts gameplay in the near future? I would like to see it. Kingdom Hearts 3 when it drops. Osmar Gomez Ortega says, my question, what is your favorite impression? Also, what is your least favorite impression? Final, what is the hardest impression for you to do? The hardest is probably the EA Sports guy because of the fact that it's like really deep. My favorite impression is probably Donald because of the fact that, like I said earlier, it's not that easy for just anybody to do, so I feel like it sticks out more. My least favorite impression to do, one of the ones I wouldn't consider myself to be really good at. Wackify, serious question for you, for your Q&A. Do you have Ligma? That would have worked on me if I didn't already know the joke. DJ Azur the Azur says, man, I missed you. Sucks that laptop, bro. Good videos always, man. So my question is, what inspired you to do YouTube as a duck? Just the fact that, like, I felt like it'll stick out more. XX387 plays ZXP says, can I have a shout out? Shout out to you. Matt Games says, shout out. Shout out to you. Loretta Zuniga says, my question is, how long have you been able to do the Donald Duck voice? And why don't you love me? First off, you're wrong, because I love all my subscribers. And I've been able to do it for about 3 years and a half. Rhythm Quack says, can I do Fortnite with you? I can do your voice. Soon enough, once I start playing with people. Lucario206, can you give me a shout out in your video, please? Shout out to you. Saman Bashir says, do a face reveal, please. I explained that one already. Houston Holman says, this may have already been asked, or you may have said it before, but how many good impressions are you able to do? I want to say around 20. Potato_warrior_ says, shout out please. No problem, man. Shout out to you. Labeled Awkward says, how long did it take for you to learn the Donald Duck voice? I can't pinpoint how long it took me to learn it. Guan or Gawon Kire, yeah, you're back. Can I get a shout out? Yeah, shout out to you. Beast101 says, hey, can you shout out my Twitch? I'm just starting and it would help a lot if you could shout it out. XX Sniper XX77. Well, guys, if you want, check him out, see what he has to offer. If you guys like him, then I guess give him a sub or follow. Hazim D Higa says, when you do Donald Duck impression, do you use your vocal cord or just air? I use air. Game King Aces, shout out. Shout out to you, man. Hello, I am Baymax. Shout out, please. Shout out to you. Spider Dash Man, do you like Mickey Mouse? Give me a shout out. Shout out to you, Spider Man. And
Sometimes, not all of the time.
Slender Man. I'm gonna answer this in like Dashy Slender Man voice. Will you ever do a face reveal? Maybe one day? MCP11, can I get a shout out? Shout out to you. Poptown_34, do you like doing what you do? Of course, it's fun. It's time consuming, tiring, but it's still fun. Albert Wolfgang Kimball says, this is such a legendary troll. I love it so much. How did you ever think of it? I mean, well, a lot of people do trolling, and since, like I said, not a lot of people were doing Donald Duck, I didn't really see anybody doing it. I was like, hey, you know what? I can do it pretty good, so let me try it. Fancy Fanta says, why are you so cute?
Because I'm a duck.
Piece of beef. Okay. I want a shout out also. Well, shout out to you. Chrissy Boy, can you do a tutorial of how to do Donald Duck voice, please? I really want to know. Maybe eventually. Isaac0500, can I get a shout out? Yeah, shout out to you. Danny Ruiz says, have you ever seen other YouTubers on Fortnite? I don't think so, no. Labeled Awkward, I want a shout out. Well, shout out to you. Fusion, question mark. I got a question. How? Just how? With practice. Annoying Orange Jr., can I have a shout out or no? Yeah, why not? Shout out to you. Aldi Sayaputra, I hope I said your name right. Can you fight with Mickey Mouse again? It's funny. Yeah, sure, I can try. Velocity TV, dude, your voice impressions are fantastic. I do voice trolling, but they're nowhere near the quality of yours. I try my best though. Since you make similar videos to me and your channel is doing amazing, I was just wondering if you had any tips on trying to get more people seeing my channel. I would love a shout out, but I will only want one if you thought my videos were any good. Aha. But anyway, glad you're back. I can't wait for the next video. Thank you, I appreciate it. And look, you can't only get feedback from me. So I'm gonna give you the shout out, and I'm gonna let everybody watching this, if they want, they have the chance to go to your channel and they can check out your voice impressions and they can see if they like it. If they do, then hey guys, help them out. And try not to do the same voice impressions as everybody else. It's not gonna stick out. If you do something original, try sending it to some of the community channels. Expert Ninja 13, what voice changer? I'm Zulika Rivera, 2018. It's too funny, I can't. Here's the question for you. How are you speaking like that? I explained that. Eve Rose, did you start doing Donald Duck because he's your favorite Disney character or some other reason? And shout out to Donald. I don't want to say because he's my favorite Disney character. There's a lot of Disney characters I like. I think it's just because I thought it was funny. You want Donald to shout you out, so
Shout out to you.
Cod Woke, how long have you been doing Donald Duck voice? Any favorite YouTubers? What do you think of your accomplishments? Well, I already said the favorite YouTuber things. 3 years and a half, I said that too. And to be at 10K now, it makes you proud. Kool-Aid Gaming, what is your favorite cartoon character other than Donald. I don't really watch cartoons, or like from when I used to. I'm gonna go with an anime character instead. I don't really think that's considered cartoon unless you want to say Japanese cartoon. Since One Piece is my favorite anime, I'm gonna say Luffy because he's my favorite character in there. 03 Dino Boy, can you do any other video? Yeah, soon enough. I already said that earlier. I'm gonna do some more videos. Mayflower, GProDuckTions, give shout out cause I'm lonely doodoo bird as ducks rule this generation of burbs. Shout out to you. Miss Nobody, what color is a mirror? I think it's like a gray liquid that turns into a mirror.